Why ish squeeze Justen? Um, that's my traditional Okanagan way of saying hello. My name is Bear Speaker. Um, the name Bear Speaker is a hereditary name for a long, long time ago, back far when humans first arrived. The humans, the people, made a treaty with the bears so that they would be on good terms. It was my lineage of people who have done this, so my family's kept the Bear Speaker name since then. This is a bear claw, just to represent. My mom gave it to me. We're here at the Haven Ranch, situated on shared territory between the Okanagan and Shuswap people. And at this exact spot, I'm here at the Star Nation Lodge. And this is the lodge. You can see right here. It is based on the Hopi design and the 8-pointed star, the blue star of the 2012 prophecy. It's a rather big lodge. And I'm here to explain what the lodge is, what the Sweat Lodge is. When on the grounds of a lodge, you have to come here with the pure of heart. There's no swearing, there's no hate, there's no violence, there's no perversion. You have to come here with the pure of heart. You have to come here suspecting you're here with all respect and to protect yourself. The point of the Sweat Lodge is for spiritual cleansing and to connect with the universe, connect with the sky, connect with everything, to share energies and offer prayers. It's the most intimate and profound thing in our people's culture. It's like a temple, it's a connectionness. And what I'm here to show you is the symbolism of this particular Sweat Lodge. What you have here is the lodge, which represents the female, the womb of Mother Earth. It is the yin-yang energy. And right here is the altar, where you place things that you want to be blessed, things you want energy to be poured into, a cleanser. Tobacco could be put there, a meaningful object, or even your own sweat and blood, whatever you want pure. And over here we have, this is where the fire would be situated at. The fire represents the male energy, passion, the fiercest, the male energy. And these right here, these are the grandfathers, these are the Sweat Lodge rocks. And what these also represent is the seeds. And for a firekeeper, his job is to heat up the rocks good, nice and red, and place them into the Sweat Lodge, which is also sort of very symbolism for sexuality, because when he handles these rocks, he has to have a clear heart, pure. It's good intent with them, and when he is taking these rocks and placing them into this womb, that is very intimate and sacred practice. And through this particular Sweat Lodge, try to keep a good flow of energy, so when walking in, you go in through this way and go around there and you come out this. You try to keep like a figure eight to flow the energy good. Yeah, that's my little talk about the Sweat Lodge. What I can really say about it right now. I'd like to say all my relations. Right now I am inside of a medicine teepee that the idea originated within the Plains community. In this teepee there are 16 poles, 4 poles for each direction, so each direction has the 4 directions in itself, the 4 aspects in itself. On the wall here, on the canvas, we have the phoenix, which is guess, the guardian or the spirit of this teepee. You have his left wing over here, his beak in the middle, and his right wing on the side, symbolizing that he's protecting it, he's hugging onto it, making sure that it's safe, that it keeps good medicine. And this is where we usually have pipe ceremonies, talk. I'm here at the Haven Ranch, here at the Stop Machine Valley. My people have been here since the dawn of time, and the reason why it's so beautiful is because we kept it, we protected it, we kept it this way for thousands of years. My brother Huck. We often think of ourselves as just being an individual, that we are ourselves and we are only of ourselves, but this is not true, for the land is also a living thing. And we share the land not only with living on it, but through living through it. Like, we live like the land. And it's one's responsibility to treat yourself, keep yourself clean, make sure you can continue on, have respect for it, the same way we do for the land. And this is what people should keep in mind considering sexual safety and whatnot. Another big role about sexual safety is like honoring yourself and honoring the other people. A lot of people these days, they don't want to use protection or whatever because they use birth control and they think, oh, I use birth control, I won't get pregnant, but that's not going to keep you safe from AIDS. And like, the knowledge is out there, but keeping true to it, like staying true to what you know, right? Not getting caught up in the temptation, getting caught up in the moment. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because, you know, one slip up and you could be paying for it for the rest of your life. A lot of it has to do with respect. Respect yourself, respect others, just know that code of law, know what's right, know what's wrong, follow that. Another part of it is about protection, protecting yourself, ensuring that you continue knowing what it takes for that. And a lot of it is also self-esteem. Know that you're good enough. Know that there's a special power within inside of you. Know that you don't need this abuse. You don't need to be doing what the man is telling you. You're independent. You got the strength inside of you. Because, like, a lot of what we're taught to think that we want is not you, it's them. And you can be part of it, but you don't have to dedicate yourself to it. It's not about, like, because, sure, sex feels good. It's the meaning of life, to procreate. But if you're just doing it for the feeling and there's no love, your spirit is getting killed. And boundaries. You'll know your boundaries. Us Indians know a lot about our boundaries. And you have to fight for your boundaries. Make sure people respect it. Make sure, make sure they know that it's yours. And a lot of this is what I learned from my culture: protection, respect, boundaries, knowing that there's a great power inside of you and you can share that power. All my relations.
Aho! Welcome. Welcome to the Star Nation Lodge ceremony grounds. Let me explain to you a little bit about the lodge and kind of the logistics of why and the how. You know, to really master these teachings, of course, takes a very long time, but I'll give you the gist of it, okay? What we have here is the lodge. This here is a permanent lodge. Most often it's made by temporary things such as, you know, boughs of wood and you know, some tarps or what have you. This particular lodge is a permanent lodge. It represents, in this particular flow on the lodge grounds, it represents the yin, whereas the fire represents the yang, of course. If you look at the entire grounds themselves, you've got the yin-yang symbol showing up here. You have the sacred feminine, the dark, the cool. This is the womb, in which when you enter, you step out reborn, you step out purified, you step out clean. You know, not only has, you know, science proven that the Sweat Lodge protocol, which actually originally was called the Stone People's Purification Lodge, is the actual true name for a sweat lodge. The sweat lodge itself is a slang that just got picked up over the generations somehow. So Stone People's Purification Lodge is actually what it's called. Now, science has proven that by participating in this ritual ceremony, you remove all the heavy metals from your body in the best way, okay? So it's good for you. But honest to goodness, while you're there and you're sweating and you're giving up your songs and your prayers, you're also offering yourself up so that you can also have a very profound spiritual experience. And the rebirthing and being reborn is exactly the intention. The more of that you bring into the lodge, into the ceremony, the more of that you're going to receive afterwards. So we've got the lodge here, we've got the fire pit. Around the outside of the fire pit, and this one's full of weeds, it needs to be cared for, of course, but around the outside of the fire pit you have that half moon circle, and that represents the path of life. And if that's kept weed clean, if that's kept nice and clear, it signifies you can also have a nice weed-free life and a clear life as well. And the whole intention, ultimately, of course, is to take these, what they call grandfathers or grandmothers. It's lava. And these lava are ancient, and they carry in them a memory of all the history of the land, all the history of the peoples, everything that's happened on this planet. They carry a memory. And so what we do is we heat them up in the fire pit here with, of course, wood, and we get it going so you got lots of coals, lots of hot, lots of heat going. And you heat those babies up till they're at least red hot. If you can get it white hot, you're doing something right, definitely, but at least red hot. And then what you do is, of course, you carry them, not with your bare hands because it'll be red hot, that'd be ridiculous, of course, but you carry it into the lodge and you place it inside that pit that's there. And you can see that that's the remnants from the last lodge that we did here. And you place it in there. What happens through that process is when you heat this up and you bring it in there, this rock is bringing its wisdom, this rock is bringing its healing for the benefit of the people that are inside. Now, if you like, you could even take it right through and look at it as potentially the act of conception itself. And this is the seed. This is the seed of wisdom. This is the seed of knowledge. This is the seed of those things that you need the most while you're in that ceremony, you know? And so just again, being prepared to receive it in that good way is very valuable. Now, let's take a look at the altar. The altar is the center of the lodge. And now if you're imagining the energy flow is as an infinity symbol, where that infinity symbol comes together and crosses is right over top of this altar. This altar itself these are crystals that are harvested right from the land here and brought here. And everything you place on here, such as sage, some pure waters, everything that's placed on here, some tobacco, some organite, all the energy that gets created with this lodge gets put here. And it blesses, it sanctifies, it purifies, it offers and empowers any intention or anything that's placed on here. And so many people will place their, their chanupas or their whistles or their sacred icons, before entering into the lodge. I want to share with you something very powerful, because when I was first learning lodge protocol, what I did learn was that this altar has to be about 3.5 feet from the front door. And then on the other side, it has to be at least 6 feet. And I asked myself the question, and of course I asked the elders who were teaching me, why is that so? Why is it not dead center? Because that would make sense in my logical mind of balancing. Well, it was explained to me that so often these protocols, and the sweat lodge protocols are no different, so often they're actually steeped in common sense as much as tradition. For example, when you come out of this lodge, you could be coming out with all sorts of sweat in your eyes and all sorts of, and you're hot, and sometimes you want to get the heck out of there as fast as you can. Knowing that is there, that altar's there right in front of you, it's going to prevent you hopefully from rushing out and actually hurting yourself. Does it make sense? Okay? If it doesn't prevent you from rushing out, and if you do trip over it, the reason why it's 6 feet there is because if you trip over it like a fool, you won't end up with your face in the fire. So that's why it's not dead center, And if you spend the time researching the protocols, doing the research on the herbs that they use, if you do the research on why do you use lava rocks versus farm rocks, just any rock, that's important, because you know what? A farm rock will explode. We don't even want to go into the details of what could happen in that little space with exploding rocks, right? So again, yes, it's common sense. Yes, it's traditional. And sometimes, and in so many cases, they're one and the same. These protocols have been around for centuries, generation after generation after generation. And, not necessarily just the indigenous of the Turtle Island, but many cultures around the world have their own variation of the same protocols because they work. And they'll always work, and they will always continue to work, to offer to us an opportunity to connect with ourselves, mind, body, and spirit in that really good way. I hope you've learned a little bit of something with this today. Feel free to check us out. The Star Nation Lodge is on omhaven.org, omhaven.org, and it'll give you a chance to get to know us and what it is that we're about and what it is that we're hoping to teach here. Thank you very much for listening to me. Aho. Attack, why I say.